Let's look at a few examples with variables in it. So let's start out with a. In a, we've got the square root of 18m squared. So we want to do what we've been doing, which is breaking down the 18 into two things, one of which we can take the root of. So we've got a 9 times 2 that we can break our 18 into. Well, why is this helpful? Well, I'm taking a square root, take the square root of 9. The square root of 9 will be 3. Because I took the square root, it is now on the outside of the square root. However, you cannot take the square root of the 2, so it's going to stay on the inside of the square root. One more thing, how do I take the square root of m squared? Well, remember the square root means it's a 2, so the 2 will go on the bottom, so 2 will divide into 2 evenly as a 1. That means it will come out as an m to the first power. Remember, when you have something to the first power, you don't actually need to write the 1. So I can rewrite this whole thing as 3m. I don't need to write the first power and just the square root of 2. That is my final answer. Now, the next one I've got for B, the square root of 36x cubed. Now, what's nice about this one is I can take the square root of 36. That comes out nice and simple. It comes out as a 6. However, taking the square root of x cubed is not as straightforward. Why? Because again, the type of root, the 2, will go on the bottom. So the problem with that is you'll get an x to the 3/2, and 2 doesn't divide into 3 evenly. However, some of it can divide out, some of it's going to be left over inside the root. So some will come out, some will stay in. We'll go ahead and do that division. 2 divides into 3, old school, long-handed. 2 goes into 3 1 times as 2 with a remainder of 1. So what this means is one of the x's came out, and we have a remainder of 1, which means there was 1 left over on the inside. So the 1x that's coming out is going to come out as an x to the first power on the outside. The 1x that is left on the inside is going to be inside of the square root as a leftover. Again, there's only one of them, that's why it's to the first power. So, remember, any x's to the first power, you don't need to write the first power, so I'll just rewrite this as 6x times the square root of x, and that is our final answer. So it's nice when things divide out evenly and can come out of the root all nice and simple, but that doesn't happen each and every time. Let's look at